My name is Katie Mersinger. This is Tammy DeMong. We are so excited to be part of this and start this new pilot. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them at the end of the PowerPoint. Take down some notes if you guys. We have some handouts for you as well. So let's begin. We're going to go through the PowerPoint from anywhere from the basics of banking, from Wells Fargo, all the way to student loans, all the way to retirement. So we have a lot to cover today in a short amount of time. So bear with me. So let's start. So since 1852, Wells Fargo has been committed to helping customers succeed financially. So we have many tools to achieve customers' personal financial goals, such as managing their finances, saving for emergencies, buying a new car, sending a child to college, buying a home, starting a business, and planning for retirement. In 2004, we launched a hands-on banking seminar. This is where this presentation came from. It's for families of customers that bank with us, that their whole families can use to help them through any money management or any financial problems or situations they might have throughout their lifespan. So going forward, we're going to start with our basics of banking. Your bank. Why do I need a bank? Factors to consider when choosing a bank we're going to cover today. Managing your accounts, type of accounts, money in, money out, how to make withdrawals, how to make deposits, and how tips to stay in balance, which in every college case, I needed it in college, so that's why we wanted to present it to you guys today too as well. So our bank. Why do you need a bank? Today, basic need to function in today's world. It's a convenient and affordable way to manage your daily financial needs, establish financial well-being and stability, keep your money safe, FDIC insurance, save money, understand how to grow your money, and access to credit. Does anyone have a banking account here, checking account? Raise your hand. Anyone bank with Wells Fargo? Perfect, it doesn't matter where you bank, but okay, going forward. Factors to consider when choosing a bank. Easy access and convenience to allow for banking when and where you need it. My biggest thing is the banker should ask, whatever bank you go to, why are you choosing a bank? Mine is convenience. I love saving time. That saves me my money as well. I don't have to drive all over looking for a location. It's at my fingertips, it's on my phone, it's on my internet. So that's one huge thing of why I look into a bank. ATM, some people like ATM locations, some people like mobile banking, some people like phone bank. We have 24-hour phone bankers on, and most banks do as well. Some people like the physical location as well. People providing helpful service during those locations. Ability to bank at one place and consolidate the services so they're all in one. And innovation, technology, and information security is important as well. Managing your account. Types of deposit accounts. We have checking accounts. We have savings accounts, which we have a traditional savings accounts, as well as CDs, which are our time accounts, which are, does anyone know what CDs are? Okay, so CDs are basically, you come into the bank, you store the money, we hold it for a certain time period with a special interest rate, and then it gets released. And then money markets. So checking accounts, type of deposit accounts. Checking accounts keep your money safe. Funds are federally insured. Deposit withdrawal cash easily, links to convenient online bill pay, and help you track your spending. Savings account, keep your money safe. Funds are federally insured. Set money aside safely. Earn interest on savings, and withdrawals may be limited on savings account depending on which one you have. How to make deposits. Direct deposit. Raise your hand if you have direct deposit. It's the easiest way, right? The money is available at that day. You don't have to go into any location or cash check or get a check cashing fee. It's secure and it's automatic. ATMs, also another easy way to deposit money into your checking account 24/7. Banking locations. If you guys like that personal touch, banking location might be there for you, but they are limited on their hours. Transfers. You can also do transfers online with ATMs, online banking locations, or over the phone. How to make withdrawals. This is an easy one, of course. ATMs. ATM withdrawals are the easiest. Checks, online bill pay, debit card or ATM cards Automatic payments and transfers. Anything that you have coming out. A debit card provides a convenient way to access the money in your checking account. It makes cash withdrawals at an ATM easy, makes purchases at merchants that accept Visa debit cards easy for them as well. It's very convenient to have a debit card. Although your debit card may have a Visa or MasterCard symbol on it, which a lot of people mistake it for a credit card, it is not a credit card. It just has that logo on it for those merchant machines, but it's still linked to your primary checking account. How does a debit card work? Everyone is issued a PIN, a personal identification number. You will PIN that card when you open the account or once you get that card delivered to you. It's a secret. Do not carry the code. Do not write the code on it. Do not tell anyone the code. We've had many instances at the bank where people are coming in and someone has found their code or they wrote the code down in their wallet and people have found it and used it. Using a debit card at a store or merchant, when you select credit, they might just have you sign a receipt or they might just have you simply go. If you put debit, you have to put your PIN in it. It's just for safety and security. Your debit card. Obviously, this is a debit card right here. I just wanted to show in case someone didn't have a debit card, but the Visa logo is on the far right. It has the check or has the full account number, has your name. On the back of it, it has a security code under number 6. You'd put your signature. Some people put CID, some people don't sign it, and that's when you'll be asked to show identification with that. I always put CID because I've had my check card stolen before, and so if I have that extra safety on there, it does help. Tips to help you stay in balance. Keep track of what you spend. Write every deposit and withdrawal in your register. So again, withdrawals, debit card purchases, cash from ATMs. A lot of people forget about the automatic transfers or automatic withdrawals coming out, like gym memberships, car payments, student loan payments. Those are something I always write them down in your register because people forget about it and then you might get an overdraft. Know your available balance. Again, what I just said, make sure everything in your account, we see this many times at the bank, is where people come in and say, that wasn't on my account, that wasn't posted, I had this available balance. And then that's why I used the card and now I have an overdraft. You have to remember, we have so many different services that you can use. We have online banking, we have mobile banking, we have little registers just for your debit card. That's why it's important, whatever you have that's going through, it may not have posted, but you need to check your online banking or mobile banking to make sure that if it's not gone through yet, you need to subtract it still from your register. So don't spend money that you don't have. So deposits, it's typically available on the next business day, but sometimes funds may be held for a longer period of time. If you come into a bank and you have a large check, different from usual checks that you have deposited in the past, our systems may sometimes put a hold on your check. Some people get a little frustrated with that, but again, remember, it's for your safety because we don't know where that check has come from. Sometimes you don't even know where that check has come through, and we don't want you to get a returned check, which will cost you money and go into the negative. So remember, not all checks are going to be available on the next business day, but you will be notified if not. Withdrawals, check card purchases, online bill pay transactions, the same that we've kind of talked about already. Protect your checking account. Overdraft protection is very important. We recommend it for all customers of ours. Raise your hand if you have overdraft protection. Good. Okay, so you link it to your checking account. Anytime that you've gone over your checking account balance, that money will come in and transfer in. You may be charged a transfer fee, which we at Wells Fargo charge $10 a transfer, but it's better than an overdraft. Which, Tammy, how much is an overdraft?
$35 each transaction.
Each transaction. So if you're going to Starbucks for $3, if you're going to McDonald's, if you're going to Giant grocery store, those 3 transactions can cost you a lot of money, where this would only cost you $10 for the day. Okay? So everyone get overdraft protection if you don't have it already. It's very important to have. Okay, so in summary, the benefits of having checking and savings account, it's convenient, it's easy, it's safety. Please do not store your money in your mattress or in your dressers. Put it in a bank. It's a lot more safe and you can keep track of it. So again, don't spend money you don't have. Make sure you write everything down and your account will stay in positive balance. Okay, so going forward, we're gonna go to managing your money, budgeting and saving strategies. This will really help you guys. Some of our goals. Learn concrete steps you can take to help develop a financial plan. Discover tools and tips you can use for money management, and set financial goals and make a commitment to implement at least one idea you hear today. Take an inventory. How is your overall financial health today? What are your spending habits? What are your saving habits? I know it's really hard to save right now when you're in college. I didn't learn how to save until I was out of it. Create a personal balance sheet. Assets are what you own, liabilities are what you owe, and your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. So if you see over here, cars, savings, 401k, total assets is $17,000. On the right-hand side is the liabilities part. So the loans, the credit cards, and other loans, total liabilities is $7,500. So you subtract that from the total assets, and you have $9,500 to work with. That's your net asset. We can skip this. This is your personal balance. I'm going to hand you guys that out to work on. How can you increase your net worth? Increase my assets, save more, and pay down your debt. That will really help. Some financial goals you may have is build an emergency fund, save for a great vacation, save for a child's college education, save for a home purchase. My husband and I just bought a home and we had been saving for 2 years. That was our financial goal, to make sure that we had enough money for our down payment and extra costs that might be since we just moved here. So really go in line of, what's your 1 year, what's your 2 year, what's your 5-year plan for your financial goals. Money savings tips. Obtain buy-in from family. Focus on the number of dollars you need to save per day. Look at lower cost alternatives. Shop around for the best interest rate. That's huge. Make sure you look around to any banks or any car dealerships for the best interest rate that's going to save you the most money. Pay yourself first. Take advantage of your company's payroll deductions if possible. Save bonus income. Save coupon money. Collect loose change. Review cell phone costs. Save lunch money. Save money from sales. And have a buy nothing week. 10 leading causes for overspending. The latest and greatest syndrome. Using a credit card instead of cash. Eating out is a huge one. Borrowing from the future. Keeping up with the Joneses. Impulse buying. Money burning a hole in your pocket. Not knowing how much you have to spend. Rationalizing spending. I need it because. Not knowing what you are spending your money on. One huge thing that I learned too is walk away. If you're at a place and you kind of get caught in the impulse, you kind of get caught in the buying of it, you really want it, walk away, take 1 day to think about it. Go through your finances, see if you actually need it or if you can handle your life without it. That's how I have conquered my spending habit, is if I don't need it, I won't go back the next day. How much money do you have? Do any of these apply to you? I don't understand the cycle or flow of my money. I don't know how much I have to spend. I live paycheck to paycheck, and I come up short when big bills are due. What's the purpose of a spending plan? Spending plans help you to reach your goal, stay focused, show where you need additional help, and include family members in money management. We have a great tool with Wells Fargo. I brag about it to everyone I know. It's called My Spending Report. Does anyone ever seen My Spending Report on Wells Fargo website? Okay, this is perfect. My Spending Report is a love-hate relationship for myself. It tracks down everything that you spend with your check card. So if you're going to the grocery, if you're going to buy groceries, if you're going to eat at restaurants, if you're going to go shopping, it categorizes it. So every month you can, or every week you can look into it and say, how much have I spent this month on groceries? How much have I spent on gas? How much have I spent on food? How much have I spent on leisure activities? It categorizes, so at the end of the month, you can see how much have you really spent on miscellaneous things rather than what you need. Spending plans help track your spending, like I just said, itemize your income and expenses, and compare income expense columns to create the spending plan. So, like I said before, this is keeping a diary for 1 to 2 months. I know everyone, it's hard to keep a diary. It's hard to keep all your receipts. It's hard to jot down everything that you've ever done. If you use a spending report, which your bank has to offer, which they should have it for online, it will make your life a whole lot easier, and it'll make you actually evaluate your income and your expenses. Okay, so let's hand out the money tips. Tammy. So we're going to hand out a packet, and we're going to go through this packet kind of as we go through the PowerPoint presentation. The first one is money tips for students. I just wanted to hand out, get some stuff printed out for you guys so you guys could take it home and have something to look off of. So, salary realities. How much money do you think you'll be making 2 years after graduation? Does everyone know? Now, the Washington, D.C. market is usually 17% higher than anywhere else. So does everyone know about the income that they know they might be making after college? So, does anyone know what the average salary is of an accountant? 50,000? Starting 60? Okay. Does anyone know what the average salary is of an ambulance driver? That's about 30,000. So really evaluate, study what you guys want to do after college. The last page of this packet has my budget worksheet. Has the financial goals, what's important to you, and my budget worksheet. We actually hand these out to every customer, and every time we go to an event or college, university, I hand these out to every student. This tells you, put exactly how much salary you think your job might have to offer you guys. Put that in the income and go through the list of your expenses, of your car payment, of your insurance, of groceries, how much you spend. Really analyze it and see how much money you'll have at the end of the month to take home. When I got my first job out of college, I thought I was a millionaire. You know, you're making however much, and then it comes to the end of the month, and you actually realize how much money you don't have. It's really eye-waking, and you have to go through different extremes of what you're going to do to save that money, or to keep that money, to pay down your debt. So use this one on the back of the sheet for the job that you want to have in 2 years or a year whenever you graduate. And then we'll hand out an extra one today at the end of class that you can use for what you're going through right now. What you're making right now, or if you have loans coming in that's helping support you, that's what you can use for your budget worksheet. Okay? We can skip that one. So, itemize your income and expenses. List and total monthly income from all sources. Same thing, and then just create that worksheet. That will really help you. If you have money left over, you have a positive cash flow. If you spend more than your income, your cash flow is negative. Keep it simple. Don't get too detailed with your spending plan. Set aside money each pay period to cover large expenses that are not monthly. I know insurance, they take out quarterly. Sometimes you have yearly expenses, so really budget that in your income so you know how much to set aside each month for that. Before you make the purchase, ask yourself, do I really need it? What would happen if I didn't buy it right now? And can I meet this need less expensively? So like I said, walk away, think about it, come back to it if you need it or if you want it. Review your bank and credit card statements to monitor where your money is going. Same thing with the spending report. Ask yourself, am I over or under my spending target? Are my variable expenses in line? What are my budget busters? Are any expenses out of control? And will I make my plan surplus by year's end? Those are some questions you will want to ask yourself. Consider today, where do I stand right now? Where do I want to be 1 year from today? Where do I want to be 5 years from today? So these are some things that we just covered. So really go back today and think about, where do you want to be financially in 5 years? What do you want to buy in 5 years? What do you want to have in your pocket in 5 years? Okay, next one. College students make up 10 to 15% of those seeking money management help. Did you guys know that? Current climate. Basics of money management and wise spending plan. We kind of covered that already. Today we have challenging economic conditions. There's tons of competition for jobs. People are going back to school during this time because the job market is competitive. So when they're going back to school, they're getting even more education. Some people are overqualified when they're applying for positions. You may be underqualified. So there's tons of different reasonings of it's hard to get a job right now. Cost of housing, especially in DC, so expensive. And it's a tight credit market. A lot of banks aren't handing out money like they used to. They can't anymore. Average cost of your education is $20,000 plus per year. Approximately 60% of you will graduate with more than $22,000 in student loan debt, and average student credit card debt is $2169 a year. How many of you would go online to shop around for the best price for an item like concert tickets, computer equipment, etc.? Raise your hand. Good, we have some shoppers here. Is this part of your overall budget, or is this part of a smart plan budget? So spending plan. Know your money, make sure you save your money, minimize the out-of-control spending like I said before, and easy tips for saving. So what you could do is have your bank do an automatic transfer every month or every pay period if you get paid twice a month. Have them transfer $75 so that's money that you don't even see, but it goes directly into your savings account and is there if you guys needed it. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about a credit. So how many of you have more than one credit card? Okay. How many got a free t-shirt or free item because of that credit card? Maybe a free ticket, free miles? Okay. Does anyone know what their APR is on their credit card? Good. Very nice. Okay, so how do you use that card? We're going to go through this really quick. Coffee and pizza for 1 year. If you buy 200 lattes at $3, which I know there's a Starbucks right underneath, is $600. 100 pizzas at 15 is $1,500. Total credit card debt is $2,100. So at 12% interest rate with a minimum payment, 7 years to pay off, plus $700 in interest, total cost to you is $2,800 from eating out. It adds up, doesn't it? So exactly today what we're going to talk about, what is credit, why should you care, and how do you get it? And in your handout as well, we have we have a quiz in here. Are you ready for a credit card that you should take if you don't have a credit card? We have a handout about credit scores, debt warning signs and tips, how to reduce your debt. So there's just some little quick tips for you guys as well. Credit card realities. It's a loan. You have to pay it back. Limits are real. There's so many offers. Rewards, cashback, personalization. But you need to look for the APR, the annual percentage rate on the credit cards. You need to see before you get the credit card, what are the fees, what are the penalties? The cost of cash advances. Does anyone not know what a cash advance is? You need to know if your rate will increase yearly or bi-yearly. You need to know your payment cycle of the credit card. So under here, this is just another example of you just charged $1,000. Interest rate is 14%. Minimum payment is $2,500. The interest paid is $669. So basically, you spent $1,000, but now you're paying back $1,700. So same one for this one. You have $1,500 for computer you put on a credit card, or there's a good deal where you have no interest free for the first year, but the second year you have interest. APR is 14.7. Lowest payment is $40. You're paying $2,021. Okay. Cash advance. Cash advances seem really easy if you need an extra little loan, or if you need some money right away, you can go to the ATM, put your credit card in there. The cash advance interest rates are usually double on credit cards. So make sure when you get a credit card, you know exactly how much your cash advance limit is, just in case if you do run into emergency, you know the interest rate of what you'll be paying back. So APR, so I said it's double. It basically is there's 24% on this credit card. So basically total cost to you is $2,000 for taking out $1,000 on a cash advance. So are you ready for a credit card? Take that quiz when you get out of class and see if you're ready for it. Okay, your credit report. Your credit score is a 3-digit number that's a shorthand way to express the raw data in your credit report. The 3 major credit bureaus in the United States are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Each calculate consumer credit scores, and we take the average of that. Your credit score can affect your ability to get loans, including car loans and home mortgages. Future jobs and insurance premiums can also be impacted by your credit score. Now, even if you're renting now, if you're renting an apartment, some apartment buildings and property management companies are actually taking and pulling your credit to make sure you're fit to rent and that you're going to pay and you have a good history. So everyone is using it now. When you apply for credit, most lenders run or pull your credit report and may obtain a credit bureau score. Points are rewarded or deducted based on factors such as how long you've had credit cards, whether you make your payments on time, and if your credit balances are near maximum. So if you have 5 credit cards out there, you've maxed out all 5 of them, that's going to show up on your credit score. There's so many different things that can happen. Delinquencies, too many accounts open with the last 12 months, if you have too many checking accounts opened, or if you have too many credit cards opened, short credit history, balances on revolving credit near the maximum limits, information about you in public records, no recent credit card balances, which can also hurt you, too many recent credit inquiries, and too few revolving accounts and too many revolving accounts. That can affect your credit score. So many options, so if you're overspending or if you're not spending enough. Credit score. So if you see right there, those are the numbers. Excellent is 750 or higher, good 720, 749, fair 660 to 719. So request it yearly. We have, it's called identity theft, which we'll talk about that as well. But there's many websites online that you can pull your credit report yearly. We do it for you for free if you have this service. We'll let you know what your credit report is. If there's something that's not on, if there's something under your credit report that you may or may not know about it, make sure you take action fast and get it taken care of. So why should you care? Again, housing, I talked about that. If you'd like to buy a home, your job, the loan rate, insurance premiums.
Katie, they're also in today's world, in the market world and getting jobs, employers are now pulling credit scores to hire individuals. So it's another added.
Right, so everyone uses it now. So good credit is simple. Create your budget and plan your spending again. Stay below your credit line. Pay more than the minimum or in full, and pay on time. That's the #1 rule. Apply for and open new accounts only as needed. So if you're at Best Buy and they say open a credit card, really go back, walk away, think about it. Do I already have a credit card I can put it on? Do I need to put it on a credit card? Or do I need to open a new credit card to establish the credit? There's so many different options you can use with that. Debt warning signs and tips. I put that already on in this packet, so it's kind of nice to bring home. You're always late in paying your bills. Your checking account is frequently overdrawn. You race to deposit your paycheck because you've already written checks that require the money in your paycheck. Your credit counts are usually at their maximum limits. You apply for more credit cards because you've reached the limit on the ones you already have. You're spending more than 20% of your take-home pay on credit payments. Your loan or credit card balances stay the same or go up each month. You can make only minimum payments on your revolving charge accounts, and it takes you 60 or even 90 days to cover bills you once could pay monthly. We can skip that since it's already in your packet. Paying for college. Be smart about where you get your money for college. Use money you won't have to repay, like scholarships and grants are very helpful. Consider money you work for through a work-study program at your school. Use student loans. Private student loans are also available. And if you need to borrow only what you need. Don't take that money and go on a spring break, which we all would love to do. But remember that you do have to pay it back. And keep track of your loans and estimate your eventual monthly payments after school is done. And be realistic about your starting salary. Responsible borrowing. Do you understand your student loan? Who is your lender? What are your loan terms? What are your rights and responsibilities as a borrower? What are your repayment options, and how are you going to repay your loan? Run to your financial aid office and ask an agent or ask an assistant there. It's really helpful to know these questions and know the answers of them to kind of get you prepared to after school is done. Know your student loan total, build it into your spending plan for future expenses, consider making interest payments while in school, so don't wait 6 months after you're done. Stay connected with your lender, discuss payment options. If you guys have a problem paying at some point, you can always call whoever's in charge of your loan and see if you can come up with a payment that's going to work with you. It's not all the time, but it doesn't hurt to ask instead of not paying them. It's going to hurt you more. Student loans are legal obligations, and the money you borrow must be repaid with interest, just like car loans and mortgages. If you're having financial problems that make it difficult to repay your student loans, don't panic, but do contact your lender. They will explain your options to help you avoid problems with both late payments and default. So again, just like what I said, make sure you contact someone, don't skip the payments. How to postpone student loan payments. A helpful first step, exit counseling. You need to complete exit counseling to shortly or after you graduate, withdrawal, or drop below half-time status. They'll give you some information when you get there to walk you through it, how you're going to maintain it, how you can postpone it as well. When are payments due? With most student loans, you start making payments 6 months after you graduate, leave school, or for federal loans, drop below half-time enrollment status. You will receive your first billing statement about 20 days before your loan enters the repayment period and your first payment is due. In 2008, there were 9.9 million reported identity theft victims in the United States, 1 in every 30 people. So identity theft is a huge crime that we see every day in our banks. It occurs every 2 seconds in the US. 1 of 10 victims knew the identity of the thieves. That's huge. It could be a roommate. It could be someone you trusted. Business loss per victim, 4.8 thousand. Total loss to business is 48 billion. Thieves are getting personal information by dumpster diving. Does anyone know what dumpster diving is? They're going through your dumpsters. They're going through your trash. So make sure you're shredding everything or taking it to a secure location. They're skimming. They're phishing. They're hacking into emails. And they're old-fashioned stealing. They're breaking into your house, stealing your checkbook, stealing your passport, stealing your social security number. To protect your identity, make sure you enroll in identity theft protection. It'll give you that peace of mind that your identity is safe. It'll alert you if something's been pulled under your social security number. You can go back and fight that if it was not you. Phishing. Phishing involves soliciting information under false pretenses via email or a website. Phishers pretend to be a company or financial institution and send email messages to get you to reveal your personal information. What you should look for is the emails will express an urgent or need to know, take action upon to. So make sure you update your information, activate your online banking account, and verify your identity by clicking on the link. Other scams, there's job scams, there's lottery. We see lottery checks all the time, and the first thing we do is we ask our customers, did you play the lottery? Most of them say no. So if you get a lottery check saying, please deposit in your account, send me $2,000 out of the $50,000 check, we'll give you the rest in return. That's their way to clear that check once you deposit it and take $2,000 out of it, so the rest of it's available and you'll get an overdraft, or you'll get a returned item which means you'll have to pay it all back because now they got everything. So, internet scams, dating scams, telephone scams, mortgage scams. If it sounds too good to be true, don't do it. Always bring it into the bank or contact authorities. If you ever have any questions, we have a lot of customers that, again, come in with checks and say, some of them say, I won the lottery, and some of them say, I don't know why I got this check. So really be careful and ask someone for help. Carry only necessary information with you. Make photocopies of vital information you carry regularly. So what I do is I make photocopies of all my credit cards, and I store them in a safe deposit box in case something were to happen. I have all the information of the credit cards or passport information in a safe location. Do not provide your social security number unless you absolutely necessary. Reduce the use of paper. Shred papers containing personal and financial information before recycling. Place outgoing mail in the U.S. Postal Service mailbox. Don't place it in your mailbox. Promptly retrieve incoming mail and know your billing and statement cycles. The promptly retrieving your mail, people, if you're living in apartments or townhomes, people will actually come into your mailbox during the day and steal your mail. Or sometimes if you get a box of checks sent to you or credit card offers, they'll just take it out of your mailbox, go home and use it. So bankruptcy, I wanted to cover bankruptcy because it's a huge, huge issue with what's going on right now in our economy. If you owe more than what you can repay, you may have the option of declaring bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is a legal process that involves seeking the help of the U.S. federal court to release or discharge some of your debts and get a fresh start financially. In recent years, bankruptcy filings have reached an all-time high. It's not an easy way out. You have legal and court costs you'll have to pay. If you've co-signed a loan, your co-signer will remain liable for the full amount of the co-signed debt. You cannot claim any debts that you have incurred. So knowing that you're going to file bankruptcy if you go on this trip or if you spend all this money, they catch you and you still have to pay that back. A bankruptcy will stay on your credit history for up to 10 years. It does not usually erase child support, alimony, fines, or some taxes, and bankruptcy laws are changing year to year, so to make sure you contact a professional counselor about your options if it is. For your job start, so for most people, landing a paid full-time job is a key step to becoming financially independent and self-sufficient. Here's a plan, some tips for launching a successful start. Don't wait, adopt a plan, make time to search, be proactive, network, discover yourself along the way, and apply your skills and talents to do the best. Chances are you're working hard to get ahead, but where are you headed? You probably have goals in various areas of your life, such as finance, education, career, but make sure your goals are financially prompt and you set your goals for how you want your 5 years to be, like how I talked about in the future, whether it's your job, your financial, your career goals. So. Most of us would like to retire someday with the peace of mind that we can take care of ourselves financially. Because the length of your retirement may equal the number of years you were in the workforce, you may need to support yourself financially for retirement that lasts decades. So it makes sense to create a retirement strategy to start implement as early as you can. Look through that when you're creating your spending plan. Make sure you also think about your retirement strategy as well. Be realistic about how much you want to use during retirement. Pay down major debts such as mortgages, college loans, and other cash flows that will drain you quickly. And consider your costs, where you're going to live. What's your health care going to look like? People are depending on Social Security. Well, Social Security, we don't know how long that program will last for our retirement. In December of 2004, average monthly income from Social Security was $954. So really, it's $12,000 you're getting a year in Social Security. If you can live off $12,000 a year when you retire, that's something you can work with. That's great, but otherwise, I would not depend on Social Security unless it changes dramatically. When you're taking a new job, ask them what the retirement benefits are for the position. If they give you some interest rate, or if they give you some bonuses towards your Social Security, if they offer 401k, that's something huge for retirement as well. Income tax, I just wanted to cover this really quickly. In the United States, a percentage of all money that individuals and businesses earn and spend is collected by federal, state, local governments for use in public spending. Individuals and businesses are required to pay various kinds of taxes such as sales tax, property tax, payroll tax, and income tax. The amount of income tax you pay is based on the gross earned income from your salary. Let's go. So again, I covered a lot of information all the way from basics to retirement to Social Security. You guys feel free to have, if you guys have any questions, we're here to answer them today. Tammy's also a personal banker at our Wells Fargo location, so if you guys have any personal financial questions you don't want to ask during class, we are going to be here till 11:30 for the next class, so please feel free to come up and ask her any questions or myself. So thank you guys so much again, and we really appreciate your time.